Hey everybody, this is Jimmy out at the Serpent Wall up on the mountain. We're down at the tail end of the Serpent Wall right now. I wanted to show it to you. And it has very large stones everywhere. They look scattered and thrown, but they're not. If you look at them as long as I have, years, you can see a pattern here, a circle. There's circles everywhere. Look at those large stones in this circle. Very large stones with a stone in the center. Big stone here. And there's this stone up here, which I believe is an effigy of some kind. It just has a strange look about it, and it's huge. I mean, it's not a small stone. Zorro likes it. Zorro's Great Adventure, somebody. And it's been set up here on this big giant rock. And I can say that, I think, because all the other stones here seem to have been set here. So this looks like it might have been. And this is probably the biggest stone on the property that might have been moved. And I have no idea what it is, except it's long and skinny and weird shaped. Looks like a boat. I don't know what it is. But it's right here at the tail end of the wall, which has some really big boulders. And you can see down here, it's sort of stepped down, like you're not seeing the whole thing. You come over here, this is real interesting. Boulders up there, over here. That's the wall. If you continue up that way north, or south I mean, you'll find the rest of the Serpent Wall. This is the tail, right here. And this is a stone circle right here. Another one. And I uncovered this just before the snow fell this year. Pulled all the leaves off and I found this in the center of it. Curious because it's in the center of a stone circle here. And everything has some sort of meaning here, I think. And I think it's spiritual. Because I see a repetition of symbols. And things that can only have great meaning to people on their minds. Like serpents. Just the idea of the serpent. And to build this whole giant structure, hundreds and hundreds of feet long, that looks like a serpent, what are we to think? I guess that's the question. What were they thinking? What was in their minds? Now, I don't know if this is writing on here. There are scratch marks, and I've looked at it a little bit, but I've left it alone, just brushed it off. I don't want to touch it. It's a really big stone. And you can see these strange marks on it. See them? They don't look like plow marks or anything that kicked it up because they have these angles. It seems like the stone has been cut into fourths, and which may be a way of saying something. I don't know. It's curious though that it's smack dab in the center of the beginning of this Serpent Wall, and you can see the size of the boulders. Another circle here. Some trees came down. Look at this giant guy. That sort of looks like a turtle effigy also. Like a lot of turtle effigies are naturally split stones, and this one looks like it was just gouged out to look like it was a split stone. Split stone carine, but that looks like what it might be. Large stones, and there's a big well here, circular well, and I haven't really studied it. it looks like it's been, you know, built and rebuilt. It may be new, it may not be. I don't know. I know the property owner that owned this farm before I bought it didn't know anything about it, and it was covered in thorns with the other parts of the property. They had no idea it was here, and they owned the place since the 1840s. You keep going along, the walls up there, there's this natural spring is right here. This is a natural spring. It doesn't freeze all winter, and you can keep fish in it. But the curious thing about this natural spring is the stonework around it. And believe me, I've looked at it. I moved some of these stones around in here, trying to make it a little, shore it up a little bit. But I didn't touch anything else, which is right here. This big stone, it's curious, it looks natural, and it is. It's really big. But it's placed right here, and there's stones, it looks like it's placed on, to me. And it's curious that these stones are corbelled. They lay in layers like the ones up the other end of the wall. And look how big it is. Look how big, a white stone also. And some of us are curious about these white stones because they seem to be in prominent places on the wall. It's just curious, and we're talking about maybe the spiritual nature of these people or the temporal mind and what would drive someone to build something like this. And who, of course. And the closer we get to answering that question, the farther we get away because there's more and more questions. And you don't want to make too many mistakes, I guess. That's where we are here. See the big stones? I mean, corbelled. All the way down here it comes. All the way to the spring. Which is curious. Because who would build that and why would they build that? Now, see these layers? It comes all the way up to the wall, which slopes down onto the spring. Then, of course, it goes to the north, the south end, becomes the serpent head. I just wanted to show you this. It's curious. Okay? Let me know what you think. Thanks, everybody.